Stand up my avatar, hey yo pineapple. Get at me, bro.
Hello. Alright, so we're gonna do our second VG circle now. I guess we'll start with introductions. Remember Delonte from last time? Hello. He thinks Brandon's a cheater. And then we have Brandon here.
The non-cheater.
Brandon play. Oh yeah. Look, it's a Brandon that plays Vanguard. OMG. We have Alex. We have Henry. Rodney, and
his name is Rodney, last name King.
Ronnie King.
Alright, so first we're gonna talk about set 5. It just came out yesterday. Yeah. Most of us here have already gone to multiple tournaments and finished our decks and stuff. So I guess we can already start talking about what we think of it. So hey, Snoop.
I'm good with Neo. I'm good with Neo. I'm good with Neo. I'm good with Neo.
So Neo Nectar. Lori has it.
You know you're not really supposed
I
to
has it. Brandon has it.
No, he can show you. You just can't.
Alright, so what do you guys think about your
Like personally,
Need staggers. Bad.
but it's amazing as is because I went undefeated in the team tournament like yesterday. I'm good with Neo.
I'm going to say I'm not, I mean it's okay. Next step will make it much better.
I've actually checked it.
And I'm not that fond of Jeans. Crucify me if you will.
Gene's amazing.
Yeah.
He's not that great.
Okay, you got a grade 3 that can attack the Vanguard. If it hits, go for 2 grade 2s. Free interceptors.
Honestly, I agree with her. I don't think that he's that amazing, especially if he's just a 12K attacker. I mean, I'll go all the way up to grade 2 and then just do 12K attackers. Because even though you do call 2 rear guards, you call 2 rear guards that's already attacked. So it's not like you're going to get extra chance.
Yeah.
I mean, interceptors.
Yeah, and then on top of that, usually you might already have your field set up. So unless you really suck and you don't, have like interceptors up front, then the effect is really irrelevant.
Exactly.
And it says like,
What do you think, Brandon?
Well, I should like the shit. Well, the thing is, if you play the grade 3, I recommend playing it too. You never know when you might need those
I think if you're
interceptors.
gonna play the 2, the grade 3, you should play them in 2.
I mean, you and me run it like 4 grade 1, 4 grade 2.
One's okay.
Or 4-4-2.
Yeah. I don't think I'd ever play more than 2 of them.
No. Like, I run 4 the grade 1, 4 the grade 2, and then 2 the grade 3. Because the other 2, my grade 3s, besides the grade 4.
Like, the grade 1 I think is the least important. Obviously, like, other than the 0. But the grade
We
1
were
is...
talking about earlier, the grade 1 only works if you're doing a
Well,
rush.
no, I love the
That's how I usually run it
You have
though.
like bad
The
day, all you gotta do
zero is
I still like it because I can swing with 1 row, get the effect off, get an entirely new row, and then stand triggers.
Alright, this might... For here, but I like the deck. The deck is very fun to play.
It's very fun.
It's very defensive.
Also, you can, if you do it right, your opponent will have to let you at least search the top 5 once by the second time.
I don't know much about Mercury.
One of the things that I really like about the deck is the starter. The starter is beautiful.
I heard about the starter.
Let me tell you about my Evil Ferret. Evil Ferret is one of the best things in the deck, especially if you play it in order to get Mandala Lord, which you should anyway. But if you Evil Ferret, you can put it at the bottom of the deck and call a card from your hand. At the end, it'll go back to your hand.
It's really good. I like to use it on turn 2 to call the grade 2-3 that shadow clones. So I'll take my damage and I'll get to turn 2. I'll move Ferret to Soul, call that grade 3, make a shadow clone. On turn 2, have like
Soul or bottom of deck?
Bottom of deck.
Bottom of deck.
So on turn 2, I can like rush you, and like then those cards go back to my hand. And if it comes to a situation of you have 1 grade 3, but you want to do that rush, it goes back to your hand, so you're ready.
I did that.
Now with
I've done that with
Mercury, do
Mandala
cards go
Lord.
to the bottom of the deck or do they shuffle back in?
Bottom of
Go
the
to the
deck.
bottom.
The only time they
you
shuffle
have
is
to be
with...
careful. Like if you really want to get to the bottom, you can't like shadow clone just shuffle your deck. I have seen people from Australia play it where they didn't play any people who Shadow Clone. They just stacked cards to the bottom, and they ran the guy who's like Mr. Invincible, Karuma Lord, I think his name is. So they stacked like 10 cards at the bottom, and they soul charged.
Explain Shadow Clone. Just for anyone who doesn't know.
When you play them, they can counterblast once and call another copy of themselves from the deck.
And you shuffle.
And yeah, and you shuffle,
Which would mess up the
which
stack.
would mess up the stack. And,
So in other words, they'd be like,
yeah, it's really cool. Like, it's a really cool concept. You play the card, it clones itself, and the clone that comes out can clone itself.
And can you do that when
It
you have
allows
timer?
you to like play one card, fill up your field, so you have an offense. And then you have to fill up your field and have a full offense while I'm playing one card.
After that end of the turn, all those clones go back. Right?
Also, it would say is Trump set 9, which is the most the second most money drop set.
Doesn't Mark and the one other guy get
Mark and Gold get a reprint on that set.
Okay, but the thing I'm saying is, Murakumo get their Kagebushin Ride Chain.
Yeah.
my God,
Yes.
Which means
really cool. Which means on grade 2, you're calling out 2 extras of him. And then you can play the Rat Shadow Clone. They have a full field that vamps at
one
the
card
end.
from hand.
And so you have a huge
And
essay.
it's more than just that. Think about this. Something people don't realize. When you make Shadow Clones, you're thinning the deck.
For triggers.
You're taking out cards that are not triggers. So you're
Something the set 8
triggers.
Neonectar does.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that I was going to bring up earlier was,
That you're gonna attack one.
yes, I always text.
Alright, so talk about Nova Grapplers. Really, the only thing that matters was we got
Another
they
draw
got another
trigger
draw trigger,
and Street
which,
Bouncer.
and Street
Which makes
Bouncer.
Stern Bloodleader a lot harder to beat.
I don't really like Street Bouncer for Stern, but I did like playing being the second draw trigger, summoning 6 crit, 6 draw in there.
yeah, I like
I
that.
really like that. And Street Bouncer, I really like the card. I don't know if I like it for Stern, but I might like it more in like Death Army or something like that.
Right. No, he's a lot more viable in Death Army, but I use him in Stern right now just because I want that early.
And I'll probably really play him when I make, what do you call it? Perfect Riser. Because that deck,
It's crazy. Perfect Riser is so sweet.
he's so beefy, but then you can like lose card damage and show you.
And it makes Mr. Invincible useful. Like that's
Mr. Invincible is
that's what I think is so dope about
Mr.
Riser.
Invincible becomes a good card.
Yeah, it's like I'm not a big fan of Nova Grapplers. But then again, I'm not a big fan of any other player.
Other than
But
United
exactly,
Sanctuary.
United Sanctuary. But like that deck is really cool.
Next topic is Pale Moon. We have someone whose first deck is Pale Moon, still plays it.
I used to main Pale Moon.
Other than Lori, anyone else really?
I know of it.
You know, alright.
I know.
So,
The deck exists.
this will be our
deck
expert
exists.
Pale Moon. What do you think of the villains from this set, like Mistress Hurricane?
It's not crap. It's not crap. It's not crap. It's not crap. I didn't put any of it in.
It's not completely correct.
No, I know.
Well, okay, but basically the two main things are, there's Mistress Hurricane and the stand trigger.
Stand trigger I like stand triggers.
Hang on.
But my build is not a soul charging build, therefore I have no use for Mistress.
In Mistress Hurricane's defense, we got set 7 before set 5.
That's true.
So she would have been amazing if set 7 hadn't come out first.
So, Lori, you have a specific problem with the Mistress Hurricane we've talked about before. It involving her counterblast. Explain.
It's too much of a counterblast.
Is her only effect the counterblasting?
If you have 8 cards in soul, she gets plus 1,000.
Oh yeah, she's an 11 gate, and that's something elements are.
But
But it's hard to do that unless you're playing a soul charge heavy build.
Yeah.
So explain why you don't like Mistress Hurricane.
one is she's very soul charge heavy, and unless you're like power soul charging all the time, you're not gonna get the +1. And
It's evolving when you go to Rider on turn 3 though is the problem we have.
yes. And it's too much of a counterblast to pull someone out of your soul.
Because me
And
and her have talked about it before,
It's too late.
one of the best cards of the whole clan is Dancing Princess, and you have to counterblast. Let's say turn 2, you have to ride your Dancing Princess. If you do that counterblast, then you're gonna have 1 face down down. So if you get to turn 3 and you don't have 2 face up again, you're gonna have, and you ride that Mistress Hurricane, you don't think to do anything. But if you want to save those counterblasts for the Mistress Hurricane, turn 2 you have to ride that Princess. You're like, I want to do Mistress Hurricane, I can't use Princess. So it doesn't always come up, but it comes up enough where you're like.
Makes it awkward.
That was very insightful information, Lori. That was very insightful information, Lori. That was very insightful information, Lori.
You see what I mean? So a good player who who thinks you have like Mrs. Hurricane or something, they will like, if they see you like counterblast your princess, they'll be like, I should not attack. I should just attack rear guards this turn and leave the Mrs. Hurricane dead.
That was very insightful information, Lori. Thank you.
You're welcome. I know my gender changed for a moment there, but
You can do that?
I can.
Anyway, actually, I played a Mr. Hurricane deck that was actually not that bad. I think if you can make right now, it won't be as good as it will be after comic style, but I'll get to that later.
Okay, so is it jumping, Jill?
Yeah, the jumpings are what Mr. Hurricane's for.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she's kind of pointless. But it's the same thing with queer.
But we'll get to the comic style in a bit. We keep almost starting talking.
That's because that set is so sexy.
All right.
Sexy.
All right.
Sexy.
All right. So after Pale Moon, there's basically 2 cards or 3 cards to talk about for Dark Irregulars. There's Bleezebub. There's
The new state.
Dark Soul Conductor.
Yeah.
There's the Draw Trigger.
District Charlie.
And there's the Devil Child.
The 10K.
Let's talk about the Devil Child first. My question is, do they need a 10K booster, or is Amon a giant enough?
Well, hang on. Think it. They have Dorian the Thruster. They have the Witching Hour Bite.
Yeah, but
They
now
have everyone else in the book. They have Amon. They have Dark Lord of the Abyss. They don't need a 10K booster.
That's exactly. Is just keeping Amon up with a 10K booster overkill?
Yes, unless they have a perfect guard.
I think Bashiro is just trying to force players to try to play things other than the main goals.
Oh, that was Dark Irregulars. Now let's move on to.
Says the guy who talked
What else is
about
there?
for about
That's
an
it.
hour.
Aside from the big
So
three.
now we move on to the big 3 of the set. Let's start with Shadows.
no one cares about peanut butter.
I think the Shadow Paladin
Peanut butter did it.
like
I
terrible.
I was very hopeful for them. I was like, they can't be that bad.
I mean, they get a starter deck.
Like they have a cross ride.
Oh, no,
They have a cross ride, but it's not like dope at all.
And it's cost 3.
Yeah, and Counterblast, I have a lot of problems with that. Counterblast 3, and you have to be like, hey, guess what? I'm doing this.
Exactly.
It's not like dope where you're like, does he have it or does he not? If he drive checks it, when he had no hand, he gets me. Like, the dragon says, here I come. And it's Counterblast 3.
So you can't do anything. Like, you can barely use Blaster Guard's effect.
Yeah. I don't like him as much. I don't like, yeah.
One good thing I will say about it is the fact that you do have the painter, where if you miss anything in the right chain, you can't fix it.
That's one thing I wish I had.
No, only
Yeah, but
penalties.
that would make it
Royals and Shadows.
Well, like,
Two. Yeah, it's a horse.
yeah, they have, there's,
Everyone has it.
yeah.
Let's see.
People just don't use it.
Well, yeah,
Alright, so-
there's so many other good gold stuff.
Alright, so, but in regards to Nightmare Painter, out of most of the cards that do what my Nightmare Painter does, the only one I actually have ever really liked is Nightmare Painter, and there's a reason for that. Maka. Maka, I think, is why Nightmare Painter I would deem a good card.
If she were a 7K, she'd be better.
But think of it like this: after you use Maka's effect once, you can practically only counterblast and activate his effect one time. That's insane.
Yeah, if I was to ever play that deck, I would avoid Persona Blast. It's not worth it.
complete difference now.
We just teleported like instantly. Our next topic. Let's talk about Royal Paladins next.
Brandon?
Honestly, you should run it.
I have issues with MLB.
Why?
He is too strong and he is too easy to get.
Yup, he's a lot easier to pull off than a Persona Blast.
But that's why he's a 12K.
Yeah, exactly. If he is a 15, however, he is a walking critical all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta creep walk around him.
However,
Always walks over.
You're only defending him because you're a paladin player.
Stop being immature.
My thing with Major League Baseball is.
No.
Okay, well, my thing is that.
Yes.
Sure. Now, this sounds completely crazy because I should be hating on him the hardest. But personally, not just because I play the end, but we'll get to that later. But if I play any other deck, I just don't really care about it because I usually have the hand for it. Because I've beaten that deck once with Great Nature.
I beat you with,
Yeah. Anyway, you can. It's a walking crit. Yeah, but the 12K. It's funny how much just 1K makes a difference.
Yeah, there's a big difference between being a 13K and being a 12K.
because if you were even at 17, which is a lot easier than 18.
Yeah, exactly. 17's easy. 18's a problem.
18 is when you have to team up a vanilla with a vanilla.
Exactly.
Just to make them Vanguard.
Or remember when I was playing you earlier today, I kept counterblasting and slaying with daggers to hit for 19.
I love myself some vanillas.
Yeah, you were.
MLB.
Trumpeter is actually pretty good. I like Trumpeter.
And they get K, and they get
The grade 2 is K, Trumpeter, and
Bedouin.
K's grade 1, Benevir's grade 2.
Benavir, and Trumpeter. Trumpeter, I liked it more at first, less now.
Is it a cost word?
I'm playing another one, I was like, oh,
It's super
my
hard.
problem with him is he's an 8K in that deck. I often have him sitting there going, I'm not doing anything. I'm just chilling here.
No, he's not right there. It's kind of like, I know a stalwart. He goes up field, he handles his business, and you intercept with it afterwards.
I know, but like it doesn't always work out. I put him out there, and I won't even have a booster for him that turn, so he just doesn't do anything. And when I want to intercept with him, sometimes things go wrong. Like the tech will be so big, I'll have to perfect guard it, and then they'll like attack like. It's hard to explain. They'll attack like my Vanguard, and I'll need to 20 guard instead of 15 guard. And I'm like, well.
I think that's one of those cards that is really good when you go first. Because then when you go over even for an 8K, she can still hit.
If you're flexible enough, I think it can be made work. However, you need to know ahead of time that you're not going to be using them. You're not going to be using your counterblast for much else. That's what I'm saying.
I don't understand why it's an 8K. When you got 13Ks just running around here, why would you have an 8K? Because even if, you know what I mean, you go in, you go, okay, behind the AK vanilla, that's only 16. And
That may be the case.
that's a 5K guard. That's nothing.
Look, a lot of things are powered, but the fact that you're getting a card out of the deck, which is thinning your deck automatically for 2 cost left.
And it's a card you need.
And it's like usually a card you need to set.
So, as weak as it is, it needs to be weak.
No,
Now,
Other than next Benavir.
Benavir. He's a 12K with a blaster on the field.
I liked him at first. I liked him, but I didn't find enough room for him. And now it's coming to the point with all these crossroads where I made room for him. I found that like with the cross rides out, especially when you have a cross ride, like if you have MLB versus dope or dope versus dope, the game has become more of a Vanguards fight Vanguards, rear guards fight rear guards. Whereas prior to the set, it was a lot of everybody go after the Vanguard unless you don't have a choice, and then you go after the rear guard. Or it's
Like any pesky rear guards on the field,
but rear guards really can't fight Vanguards anymore.
Like with Silent Tom against the cross right, he's bullshit.
Yeah.
That ruins the meta. It ruins the game. It ruins the
I
game.
do. It ruins some things, but then other things I enjoy because I think the game is more enjoyable when it's Vanguard versus Vanguard, rear guards. Because it's less of a let's try to attack each other for game and more of a like control fight.
I agree.
See, I draw grade 3.
K. What do people think about K?
He's a 10K 7. He's a 10K grade 1.
It's annoying and I want one.
I'm an attacker. Here's what
I won the draft tournament because of that thing.
I found the most redeeming quality about K is that in that deck, to set off your ideal situation, you have to give up 2 grade 2s to to set up your Vanguard the way you want. When you do that, you've limited the number of like basically good attack force your deck has. You had to go 2 grade 2s to set up your Vanguard column the way you want it.
Too late.
And Benavir being a grade 1 that would be powerful enough to play the role of a grade 2 makes up for the fact that you gave it 2 grade 2s to set up your Vanguard.
He goes like 10K, yeah, each of them are 9K.
Not the only ones that hit heal triggers.
That's why you have to pay in the front and blaster blade or dark on the back.
After that, anything? Oh, Wingle Brave.
He's okay, but he'd be better if he didn't have to boost a blaster.
Yeah. Boosting a blaster is one of the tougher parts. Usually, I have like a blaster blade on turn 2 to use, but if my opponent rides a 10K, it makes it a lot harder.
Also, the funny
Only to Kagero.
you guys can all be getting your butt hurt.
And I have dope.
Plus 10.
We in the tournament at the location we're on today, it basically came down to like at the end of Swiss, dope versus dope. And it was kind of
But that's only one.
Burning Horn.
Scary.
Burning Horn. We talked about Benavir.
He's
So it's
Benavir.
basically the same thing.
Intercepting for everything.
He's the 12K grade 2 for that.
23.
Like there's no drawbacks.
There's no drawbacks to that.
And you're running an overlord deck anyways.
However, there's a difference. There's a
Talk about the cards. I haven't seen like really any other dope players except me play it. I love the hell out of it. The new Ermo is amazing.
I disagree.
I love that card.
Raise your hand, man.
You don't play Kimnala. Kimnala is putting more bullets in the gun for that card.
Oh, I know.
Okay, that's
That's what I'm saying, like, it's too free.
Yeah, like dope just going 23, 23, 23.
And then you search it out with kind of
For me,
you don't have to work for it. It's there.
The reason for me that it doesn't really matter to me
Game over.
is for the simple reason, and I listen to argument. Yes, you can always hit for 15 even if you are complete, if you're empty and you're shooting blanks.
Alright, we have 2 heals left.
And that's if you have crossroad. If you
Yeah.
crossroad, you start hitting for 7.
Yeah.
game 2.
And that's
Forces MLB to at least 15 guard.
When he attacks
It's
me,
beautiful. And I agree with that.
This jacket is amazing.
However,
your fingers are hitting.
when you're swinging
you make your rear go
with
nuts.
Overlord, one way or another, they're gonna go hard.
We gotta play game 3.
I'd rather spend. I have other purposes for my grade 1s that I'd rather use.
How Overlord deck do you use? Building process.
Because the way I play, I like to have options for my rear cards. And one of the scariest cards in Kagero is Heat Nail. And then there's also.
I'm not that scared of
Are you just reading Heat Nail and Kimnara?
I'm not that scared of it. Like
what's your-
Kimnala, I get to refill my gun, and I'm choosing what I want to go off. I'm not getting asked to figure it out.
I prefer
You don't
that.
have to give up a boost.
I don't know. I prefer that because
something, because
And I'm not putting, like, I'm not securing my deck.
Exactly. I mean, you can. That's what I'm saying. Like you can literally like thin down your deck really quick with that deck. Easy. And like.
And he gets out of the way when I want him to get out of the way. Like a move I do very often is I'll ride Tejas to attack my opponent's starter. Well, when I ride the Tejas, I'll use the Kimnala to search out that ammo I need. But I won't play him yet. I'll put Kimnala behind the Tejas, attack you, because later on.
take a Nard and search out air mode.
Because then the Kimnala later can go, instead of that, get out of the way. Now ammo, there's 2 to support the grade 3.
Well, of course it is. I think that there's
I'm not gonna lie, in the English meta, up until now, Kagero has kind of been under-supported. And now, with one set, they're almost over-supported.
Yeah, that's
Now they're
It's actually funny and hilarious.
yeah,
It really puts things into perspective when you think of how little push
I'm gonna keep my whole hand.
yeah, like, one deck that I think, there's like a bunch of decks I think could easily get pushed over the edge. And like, let's see, like, if you give Pale Moon like 3 really good cards, get away from a pack, and let's take a break because we're going to talk about Countdown next. Let's talk about team tournaments. There have been 2 team tournaments in our region who's gone on. The first one,
Yes,
was
Laurie.
Collectible Investments, where my team won. Where my team won it. This guy's team came in second.
Yes, we
Not
do.
necessarily.
tournament went pretty well. And then we did another one yesterday where
My team
your team won, and your team got to third or fourth. Okay. And I had to change teammates, and the teammates like had some pretty bad luck. Even though I went undefeated, my team still lost. Not really. I can't blame it on them. Because they had really bad luck, but it was disappointing.
Yeah, we kind of beat it right. That is right.
I like the idea of team tournaments. I really do. Like, I honestly like team tournaments better than I like regionals.
What I
And
just
and the funny about it, like I've been to 2 regionals, and team tournament is better by far.
It's so much more enjoyable.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, I get a bad hand and then I lose, right? At least in a team tournament, it's still kind of like 2 out of 3.
I only use it
Except for
one thing about team tournaments I do not like,
He's terrible.
and
Hey guys, you're not real. Shut up.
He's terrible.
and
Hey guys, you're not real. Shut up.
He's terrible.
and
Hey guys, you're not real. Shut up.
indoor voice. Use your big boy voice outside.
Hey.
Alright. The one thing about team tournaments I do not like is the ruling that it has to be a one clan deck except for
MLB.
foils. And I think you can't make an exception, it has to be all or nothing.
If there was one exception to a card that should be
Bracky. Bracky.
high speed Bracky. That card is good in so many decks
True fact.
that, like, in Coco, a card could not be better designed than high speed Bracky. A card that's Soul Blast,
We are
a card that goes back in the deck to keep you from decking out, and it hits for big numbers. It's almost like high speed Bracky was
Honestly, I like that they're doing that. Honestly, I really do like that they're doing that because they're trying to make the decks fair. Like even with the Go Paladin, I don't like the fact because I'm a Go Paladin player and then like Brandon Smith, we're on the same team, and he plays a different version of Go Paladins. I understand why they need it. They don't even have to like it, but I understand why they don't want
I'm cool with that.
go.
I just don't think that you should be able to go. All of your decks have to, like, your deck has to be one clan only, except for Royal Paladins. Royal Paladins, you can
Royal Paladins
But it has to be though. It has to be for Royal Paladins because it's the way the MLB is set up.
I know, but I'm just saying, if you do it for one, you gotta do it for all. Because
What you're saying is the same way Royal Paladins are allowed to have up to 10 shadows. You think there should be a rule that each deck is allowed to tech so many of a different clan?
Yes.
Like, there's a guy I know who
Exactly.
wants to run a dark regular deck using Amon's effect and then the new Kagero 5K that boosts itself by 5 when the guy dies.
Yeah, but it has to be a card.
And
No.
No, it has to be during the main phase.
and back
So
to
that's what I'm on.
yeah. And back to like high speed Bracky. Other than being like a perfectly designed card for Coco, high speed Bracky is Glory the Pale Moon player can tell you. High speed Bracky is very good in Pale Moon. He swings big. Then he gets out of the way, so that when you tag out, like if you high speed Bracky and Midnight Bunny teamed up, that is so good because you swing.
Does
It
Midnight Bunny
becomes,
have to boost a pellet?
does it?
I think it does.
No, it just has to boost an attack that hits.
Yeah. So Bunny and Bracky swing. That's a big hit, so it's hard to block. And then when you hit, Bracky gets out of the way. The Bunny tags into the soul. The trapeze comes out, and then you don't have to, because normally when you tag for trapeze, you often have to call trapeze over top if the card is already at rest. But when Bracky does that, he made the tag easier to get through because it was bigger, and then he got out of the way so you don't have to retire something.
I mean, Bashiro might end up that's why Bashiro likes to make clone cards. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure that they're probably gonna come up with something like that for other clans. It's probably just later.
Although Bracky is a very Spike Brothers designed card, it's just he turns out to be one of the like probably the most tech card in the game because he's so good. And on the same topic, Reckless Express is a very good card too because it's the same thing but a grade 1. Jugs people don't usually do because you usually don't have.
These are grade 3s and people base their
Also,
You only get a minus.
today.
It's a minus too.
Yeah.
Just because I play
But-
differently doesn't mean.
So, like, other than like the whole like we can't mix our clan things, I really like team tournaments because I like knowing that even if my
Big
luck,
tournament that they're doing.
19 band.
because I like even knowing that even if my luck like goes extremely bad, I have two reliable people I rely on and trust to like make it up for me.
Well, that's the end of Brandon's.
However, I have never lost a game in a team tournament.
Wait, neither have I actually. That's funny. I've never lost. It was like, dang, I lost. I was like, that sucks. Oh well, I had some fun. That's like, I was like, man, this is crazy.
One issue with team tournaments is it's
The one best of one.
No, that's good. That's perfect.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you get a fucked up hand, you have no opportunity to fix it.
But that's why you have two teammates. At least that's
Yeah,
why they say
compared to the other
one, like the regular regionals. I was like, I had a bad hand, it's best of one.
Yeah.
Okay, I lose because I got great luck. And
That's why a lot of people there were playing Spike Brothers, and it killed a lot of the matchups later because they lost off of easy stuff, and they had an early win, so they got off a lot of people who had bad luck.
yeah.
Because like a lot of people I noticed in the first one that I went to, which was in Chicago, there was a lot of Spike Brothers playing. Did you notice that too?
I didn't notice that many.
It wasn't that many spikes.
But
I noticed it.
I think Spike Brothers is one of the best decks. I'm a big fan of it, and I think it's an extremely competitive deck.
I agree, and I would want to play it if it wasn't that it was Dark Zone.
That's racist.
Hear that from you.
What? I'm not racist.
It's because we're tired.
This is a big tournament.
Team tournaments is the only like I played a lot of tournaments for a lot of different card games, but that's honestly really unique. Like team tournaments, like you and your two buddies, you know, against this guy and his two buddies, and then like you have to strategize. Like, man, do I want to go first, second, or third? You know, like how everyone else.
The randomized.
You're gonna start to the jet.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so much you can do. Like it's so much fun. There's so many things you can do. Like
It's very randomized because you may.
Now we'll get back to comic style. I think half of us here. I wonder who's excited about comic style and who's not. First, I think half of us here really like them, and I think the other half aren't that excited.
I'm completely ambivalent.
Alright, so
drive safe, man.
yeah. So, let's have the excited people talk.
I'll read your eulogy at your funeral.
Oh, excited people.
Love you.
How excited are
The
you?
guys who like comic style in the front row.
Perfect riser.
It's pretty sexy and I want to play it myself.
Wait, does Memorize come?
Oh no, that doesn't come until set 9.
What?
That's in June.
Perfect
Alright,
riser.
let's kind of get this untitled. Let's first talk about the most obvious Nova Grappler people who are excited.
It's you.
Crap, he's gone.
It's you.
Oh, wait, here. That's good. Oh, man. I'm
I keep
gonna
my hair people, man.
pushing the shit out of people. Battle riser, trouble riser.
Whoever goes next go.
Well, yeah.
You just like them because it looks
Battle Riser, Solar Riser, High Power Riser,
It's him. He's cursing
High
me.
Power Riser Custom.
It's in the name. They rise.
I have a question though.
Hearing me now.
Do you feel like the deck is competitive enough with comic style to like actually go out there, or do you think the deck won't have its competitive edge until it gets the extra pack and
Set 9. Actually, set 9 is where most of the stuff will come out.
Yeah.
The grade 1, the grade 2.
yeah, and then set 9 like
I feel like everything looks about like 8.
yeah.
Dude,
Well, that's just because of how.
Like I'm sure I'll do things. I feel like everything is come out super late. It's like I really want to play this clan, but I want to win. So I guess I'm gonna play with broken.
I've never really met someone who said Perfect Riser was bad. I think most people look at the card and understand this is a good card, and as you've said previously, it makes Mr. Invincible really cool and really good.
Yeah.
Don't let them touch you. I'm kidding, let them touch you. Don't let them touch you. I'm kidding, let them touch you. Don't let them touch you. I'm kidding, let them touch you. Seriously.
Let the blue superhero touch you.
Just
Wow!
Just let
When
them.
did he touch you?
Wait, touch you. Wait. Did he stand?
Hold on. Show me on this phone where he touched you.
Stand. No, not just him.
He touched me and then he
Everybody.
stood up.
He's like, oh, object.
And then everybody stood up.
It was a gangbang.
There was at least one girl.
I am not removing this part.
I'm fine.
Alright, so I think all it really is this. Oh, what's that one go? Nova Grapplers, let's finish that.
Wait, I have my iPad. Hanging right here.
There's no Wi-Fi though.
Alright.
We have,
After Nova Grapplers, let's talk about, I think Pilgrim next.
They do get a little bit of support.
They get some support, but the Pale Moon player, what do you think about the Pale Moons in comic style?
I don't want any of them.
I think you're going after this.
So let's go over the Golden Beast Tamer. What don't you like about her if you don't like the cards in that set?
I don't use her. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Is it, is it the Soul Blast 3 just to attack?
Yes. Especially since I am not. I mean, every Pale Moon player has their own, I guess, style. I do not randomly soul charge. My soul charge is very deliberate. And so I don't have these extra soul blasts to just give away. And so most of the time I'll probably not be attacking because I'll have
So clearly, Golden Beast Tamer was designed as a finishing move like Soul Saber Dragon.
Yeah.
But you don't always have the option. Sometimes you're like, oh, turn 3. I guess I gotta ride Golden Beast Tamer.
And then it would be pretty much screwed unless I can get something else to put on top of it.
Well, what I think is, again, I don't think she's that bad if you make a build for her.
Alright, so other than her, do you care to get a 3rd stand trigger?
Yeah, I like stand triggers.
Would you ever play more than 8? Would you even ever play 8?
No.
Okay. Do you like the pigeon?
No.
I like the pigeon.
I like his artwork. He is pretty neat looking, but
I think the pigeon would have been cool had set 7 not come out before Comic Style 1.
I agree.
Because what's his name? The Hades remaster card is terrible. 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 That thing will sit in your binder forever.
Well, not as long as Locks.
Hell.
I'm sorry.
Locks is worth like maybe $1.
He ain't worth the Apollo more than
He's worth more than a nominal.
I think
I don't care if you
what
have
about the Pale Moons? I am not interested in any of them.
I don't care if you have to rob a Mexican baby. Find a cell phone and call me. Don't just show me.
Mexican babies are so
Wait, he heals.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not racist.
Alright, so your opinion as a Pale Moon player, you don't like comic style.
No, and I might just because be saying it because it's not my style.
Maybe.
I'm not saying Gold Beast Tamer
Just a little bit.
is that bad, but for the build I play and the style I like to play it,
don't know about that.
But from objective.
Oh, hey, look, I can guard now.
objectively.
That's interesting.
If you were to go for like, if you're heavy soul charging using like
Like a Robert build.
a Robert build, I can see you.
No, just have it. It happens. Auto.
And then she only power up chimeras.
Yeah, it's auto.
There's actually a couple chimeras now.
Yeah.
Hades or Mistress Hurricane herself is a
It's
character.
auto, not active.
There's also the two.
No, I really don't
See,
care.
like, you gotta think of it like this.
No,
When the Billy says
Vanguard with a big power up doesn't even need to be boosted.
she only works. She only
you
works
have
as a
to
Vanguard.
say,
It don't matter. I let it happen
Huh?
on.
I just wouldn't see the point of her.
I feel like that. I just.
She's pretty flashy.
because
Kaguro
Yeah,
comic
just what I'm
style, which basically means Six Dragon. That's his name, right? The 9K damage.
I think that's what they call them now.
Okay.
It used to be.
I must use restroom. I'll be back.
So, I as a
well,
I'm an every deck player, but so that makes me a Kaguro player, I guess, and you're a Kaguro player. I don't know if I don't find that card that necessary.
I like that, baby.
I think he's a good card,
I think you need to
but
play.
I think I would have a hard time making room for him.
I wouldn't.
Because you want your back or force it.
No, that was simple. I mean,
Yeah.
Bellicosity Dragon. But they probably will call her Ballistic Dragon. That actually sounds like a pretty cool name. But it wouldn't make any sense for this art. Well, I like him. In a lot of certain builds, he can be a very threatening play. I especially like to use him in decks that are counterblast heavy.
So if
If I'm using cards like he's
Oh wait,
Don't usually is kind of blast.
yeah, so especially in Dote.
Okay, so even
Ah,
I
fuck.
created them.
Sorry, I hate that one. I don't like to say for this instance Dote.
Say the end.
I like the end. I do. I understand butthurt
That's an
everywhere.
interceptor.
So much
That's
butthurt
some guard
that
now.
if they put it in a jar, it would not ever fit. They would have to make a jar the size of the world for the butthurt of the end. I understand that. Anyway,
The end.
19.
But
Wah, wah, wah.
you see, but the thing is, with Bellicosity Dragon, you make even more threat, even if you don't have a Vanilla Rose. Not that Vanilla Rose matter in the end deck. But once you have Bellicosity, it makes
We have
it
red.
makes a good threat
Red.
regardless. And if it hits, even better. Especially if you're running Kimnara. It makes Kimnara extra. I would actually be trying to switch out my heat nails for Kimnara once I get
That's
the pump.
legit.
Because I believe that's
Yeah, but
that would be an excellent thing. So I think it's a very good card, and I made it in a lot of decks.
No, he's 16.
Well, I will make it in a lot of decks.
Oh, he is 6.
Yeah, he's 16.
Alright.
Oh, before I forget
I
about it.
need you to draw some good
What?
cards.
What's that?
What card?
Guard Griffin.
Oh, Guard Griffin, the 10K grade 1.
Call.
10K blocker grade 1. I have no opinions about it. I don't think I'd ever play it. But what do you think?
Alright.
I'd give him a shot with Bellicosity.
You don't want it.
I don't think I can last this one. 23.
Talk about the promo you get for buying it.
The one grade 2.
Yeah, the one.
Why?
Well,
I mean,
Talking
excuse me.
bless you.
I can never pronounce that card's name correctly.
It would take this to
Excoplate?
guard the Vanguard.
Excoplate.
Excoplate the
Brandon?
What? This jacket is amazing.
Alright, so, Brandon, we're about to start, we're talking about Excoplate the Blaster.
Excoplate bastard?
What?
Yeah.
That's his problem.
Argeki.
Oh, that bullshit?
Yeah.
Grade 3?
It's coming out in comics.
He's the promo for buying a box.
I know, that's why I threw my hat down.
They gotta come back to me.
Alright,
I think
We're gonna make it through this, man.
card. What do you guys think about that card if you hate it so much?
For that one turn, for that one turn, I hate it. I hate the triple hell out of it.
I'm gonna play 5 perfect guards because of that card.
But
When
when he comes
How
out,
much is that?
I'll be using Zamba Hoop specifically for that.
This is 19.
19.
Alright, so far I have.
You know what the card does, right, Lori? The guy who attacks the whole field?
Mhm.
That'd be one.
What do you think about that?
Oh,
My bad, that's correct.
okay, okay. I'm doing it.
It's bullshit.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I did not create ties.
Too bad.
Okay. I think there's a consensus. A lot of people don't like that card.
I don't like that card.
The moment it comes out, it should be banned.
I am though I am very glad that you did not put it in the rear guard. That it completely cuckoos itself on rear guard.
Alright,
We can't guard.
let's
all
talk
that.
about more
We don't need to,
promo.
remember,
And I'll let this guy go.
We only need a guard. One of these.
19, man.
The first thing I'm actually going to talk about is left and right
Where
arrestor.
we at here?
You're right.
Because they actually have a very interesting effect that
Everybody's at the peak of damage.
I feel a little dumb for not having thought about. They're both 8K,
Should I just guard
but the
this
game
one?
+3 on both turns, as long as they're in their respective spot. And what I'm gonna say about left and right arrestor is that they are actually a pretty great combo if you can do it. And I like them a little bit better than, especially if I'm playing a build where I don't want to use the shadow cloning techniques.
This is a fun.
I think that they're really good because they can be 11K dueling dragon zombie coup, also known as the crossfire killer, also known as the break ride killer, also known as old dirty bastard, also known as the risen. Oh, he's dead?
I would have missed it.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Stop that. I think he's a wonderful card, an extremely good card that has only gotten a little bit better with age, considering when he came out. If you don't know his effect, he's an 11K Murakumo, which is excellent.
I see one card.
Not only that,
It's terrible.
if your opponent tries to ride a grade 3 on top of a grade 3, they have to first discard a card.
The game with card advantage.
I don't like her in this build is because
one card
she's
can
such a
do
road
everything.
member, and the cross rides are hitting for her.
The
It's
movie.
bad. It takes away.
Coming to theaters
It's
near
like
you.
you're getting nothing.
So what do you think about it?
And that's about it. But
The first time I ever saw him, I was like, what is this crap?
And
And then I was like, and then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, oh, as the game gets older, the card gets better. As you said, he gets better with age. First time I ever saw him, because it was one of the first, it is the first extra booster, so it came out a long time ago. When it first came out, and I ever looked at it, I was like, why would someone play this? Why would I be riding multiple Vanguards? But then Cross Rides came out, and then Garmor came out, and then
Oh, we know.
you know what I mean? Ride Garmor over Garmor. I've heard that happens.
Garmor Counter Blast. Next turn, Garmor Counter Blast.
You
Look at his
right
field.
on
It's
count
amazing.
that.
So
yeah,
I think that's a card that's gotten better as the game's gotten older.
So would you say it's a sexy card? Would you invite him to
I
parties?
play differently, but I know how.
I might invite him to parties. Yes. Make a colony. I play it. He plays it. I know she hates that playing. She doesn't like playing against them.
Not so much.
Wait,
Actually,
I'm not so mad for
He
myself.
plays
Oh,
it.
hell yeah.
Okay, so 3 people here play Make a
No, wait,
colony.
I go.
Oh, sure.
We get to get rid of our sand trigger and play second critical. Yay! And
you attacked me.
I don't know if I'm gonna
So
play
you
it.
guys, he went first
But
by mistake.
The what do you call
Order
it?
on
Machine.
The machining's come out, which the grade 3 and the grade 0 are what make them a playable deck.
Go ahead and do it.
Also the grade 1 that came out earlier.
The Soul Charger?
Yeah.
Yes. I play that card to begin with anyway for
Yes.
Master Fraud.
Master Fraud is a badass mother.
I don't see a threat.
Let me
But
hit.
I kind of feel like we're already done talking about Make a colony. Alright.
Sorry, you don't get to know about it.
Let's talk about
Go to Cardfight Wiki.
other people we have here. Let's talk about the stand-up cup, which starts in like.
I'm flirting flaccid for the stand-up cup. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You keep using that word. I don't know if it means what you think it means.
I'm pretty sure I know what it means.
Comment or the stand-up cup. I'm excited for it because I like competition.
I like competition. I just think, Bushiroad, please. I can't stress this enough. If you're listening, please stop with the best of one. It's double elimination is no fun, and it ends up in weird pairings, of which he knows.
Now, are you Christopher Walken or
Yes.
William Shatner?
Yes.
Never know. Just come to me. They like me like that.
I am putting myself out there as the president of the I don't like single elimination, double elimination, best of one. I don't think we should ever go 6-1 at a regionals, only losing to the undefeated and not top 8. So I think most card game players are going to agree with that.
I can take 2 points.
I'm clapping with my mind. But I do it.
Remind you to clap.
Brandon, what do you think about the stand-up club?
Okay.
I'm nervous as shit. All these good players gonna be coming up here. I'm just like,
Shut up, you're a good player.
shut up. I'm not good.
Lori, what do you think about it?
I think I have the worst luck in the world when it comes to playing in
You
tournament.
have a shit ton.
When I'm playing with friends and everything, I think I do pretty alright.
What do you think?
Lori should listen to Gangnam Style while playing in the tournament. It
I
should be
agree.
fine.
He's trying to think shit he
No. Business sign.
No. Breakfast.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because in the team tournament
Look
that
up
I played,
Lele breakfast.
One down.
in the tournament I played last,
I'll eat.
I did 3 rounds, I won 1, lost 2, and out of the 3 times I played, I hit a total of 5
I
triggers.
love when you hit the double tops.
Not in
witnessed
one,
it.
not in one game, but in the 3 combined, I hit a total of 5.
I witnessed it. She's really not exaggerating. She really did.
And you got 2. You got 2.
Alright, so
Perfect.
Is there anything?
Just took that.
And I like the fact that they're doing it. You can go multiple times at different places. It makes it very much.
The invites trickle down.
Yeah.
If someone already got an invite and they get the first or second place, the invite passes down.
21 man.
Also, like,
That's cool.
it feels like the anime. It does.
Yeah, I like that.
It's weird that we're actually saying we like the fact that they're making it like the anime, but it's true.
Great power.
And what I'm really excited for is, of course, like I mentioned earlier, the team cup, the team
The
tournament.
team, like, I guess let's call it the Team Stand-Up Cup. I am even more excited about that.
I am not classic for
Very,
that.
very excited about the Team Stand-Up Cup.
I like that it's 2 out of 3.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Because it's taking the stand-up cup, which was best of 1, which is the worst part of the tournament, and kind of, even though it is best of 1 for each person, it is making it best of 3 since it's teams.
I do understand from a business perspective why they don't want to do that because it would cost them a lot more money. I guess if that's why they're doing it. But come on, Bushy Road. You already got this hook, line, and sinker. Just throw us a bone. Can you throw a nigga a bone? Lord.
And with that, I think we've covered all our topics today.
No, really, don't go to church.
I think we've covered all our topics today, so we'll see you next time.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing. Our next one is.
Besides, look at these mess roads.
Oh no, I did not see the actual cabin.